Oh yeah, number one, it's just been great to have a normal fall camp. Half of our roster, our freshmen and sophomores, have never been through a fall camp. Obviously the freshmen, but that's our sophomores as well. We got to do a little bit of football last fall, but certainly not coming in early and in camp. So for our older guys to get back to that format, and for our younger guys to get to experience that for the first time, it's just been exciting for us. And really coming off the last two falls we've had, 2018 and 2019, an 8-3 season, a 9-2 season. We're just excited to build on that and get back to a normal fall and looking to continue laying bricks in the right direction. Yeah, this spring, first of all, it was great to play spring football for our seniors. They've had a remarkable story. You think about the senior class that we just lost due to graduation. Their freshman year, they ended a 33-game losing streak. Sophomore year, 8-3, first postseason win in school history. Junior year, 9-2. I mean, that group was excited to capitalize on that, and to have the fall canceled. Just the opportunity to play in the spring was great for them to have some closures on a remarkable story. And for our returning guys, we lost a lot after the 2019 season due to graduation. And this spring really allowed us to be able to identify who those guys need to be in critical spots. And we feel that this spring, over those 4 games, we were able to identify that, coupled with now August camp. We feel we know who the guys are that need to be on the field in each position as we head into the 2021 season. First and foremost, going right down the line as far as Cody Gustafson and Pat Mark, who they were both on the field in 2017 as freshmen. And Cody at wide receiver, the Offensive Player of the Year this past spring, 3 times first team all-conference performer. He really has shaped what we do offensively. I think his ability to win in one-on-one scenarios on the edge and just his ability to win vertically and stretch the defense just has really opened up everything we do offensively, and really he's made a stamp on our identity offensively. And on the other side, Patrick Mark, I think things changed for us defensively when he stepped on the field with what we were able to do, have that safety coming downhill, and the impact he's made in both the pass and the run. So both those guys, dating back to their freshman year, just really have shaped who we are on both sides of the ball. And then you look at Josh East at quarterback, a 4-year starting quarterback, and has a remarkable record. His freshman year, he started that first game, and then after that led us on a 7-game win streak, another 7-game win streak during his sophomore season. So has just won a lot of football games for us. And then RJ Devo, who transferred in, and after just 1 year of being here was named captain by his teammates, which just shows you what they think of him and what we do and how we teach our defensive line. RJ has been the model of that. So we have 4 guys who not only are captains elected by their peers, but really have made their marks and shaping the identity of us both offensively and defensively. Yeah, I think defensively, and then first, Coach Lonnie, our defensive coordinator, has been in that position for a number of years now, dating back to 2017. So I think we have a clear identity, and just excited with our defensive staff and the identity that we have defensively. Starting up front, I already talked about RJ Debo. He really sets the tone there, along with James Perenni. James Perenni, nose guard, returning for us. And we play an odd front, so we ask a lot out of that nose position, and James really allows us to play the scheme that we think is best for us. And that other defensive end position, there's been a lot of competition in camp. We have some upperclassmen, that Scott Hastings, Ethan Ward, and some others that have competed there who've been in that spot, and some freshmen. Bryce Spoltnick, Anthony Brierly, and some others have really pushed there as well. So a lot of depth across, and we got those 2 returners, excited for that 3rd position. Linebacker might be the most deep position on our roster right now. We returned Parker Kilgore, first team all-conference. Ryan Fleming was second team all-conference in the spring. Cole DiFilippo played a lot of special teams for us in his freshman year and during the spring season, and he stepped into a starting role now. And we hope to get Curtis Freiermuth back at some point this spring, who was one of our best players overall that we lost in the spring, that we're going to get back at some point this fall. So really deep there. And then in the secondary, Patrick Mark, who is the captain we talked about at safety. Alongside him at safety, Trevor Beck, a sophomore that has moved from corner to safety. And on the outside, we returned Gabe Dunlap, Brandon Caffrey, and Dan Melville. So 3 guys with a lot of game experience. So we return a lot, and excited about the experience on that side of the football. Yeah, really excited. We talk about utilizing the spring season. One of the big ones was figuring out what that line needs to look like after losing a lot of guys in 2019. And Vinnie Laprey was first team all conference this spring. He really sets the tone with that group, both in the weight room and how they train and physically being in position to do what we need our offensive line to accomplish. So Vinnie Laprey, we have him at guard right now, and excited for him to step in there. And on the other side, Nate Brady, who started in the spring for us, a sophomore. So both of those guys at guard, and outside of them, Jared Kraut, he returns. He started games for us, and excited for him to play that left tackle position. And some other upperclassmen have Lance Kleinfelter, Caleb Halaja, some other guys in the mix, but there will be some freshmen on the field. And Dylan Lane at tackle has done an amazing job in camp, and another freshman, Brady Brungard, at the center position. So really deep, and a mixture of experience and young guys that will make up the five on the field on Saturdays. Yeah, and I mentioned linebacker probably being our deepest position on the defensive side of the ball. Well, that's running back on offense. We returned two guys who've had multiple years getting carries for us, Zach Trusky and Clayton Parrish, and you will continue to see those two getting the football, and some talented freshmen that are going to be in the mix. And Nico Flatty is going to be getting a lot of carries for us as well. And in the past, if you've watched us, maybe 2018, 2019, there was a lot of one guy getting a lot of carries. I do not expect that to be the case here. I think we got multiple guys that we're going to strategically use to put them in positions to do what they do well. And those guys jump out. I expect all of them to have impacts in each and every game for us. Yeah, when I look at the receiver, obviously wide receiver position, Cody Gustafson gets most of the attention, as he should. I mean, he's broken every record, I think, in our record book, and so we return him. Coming into the spring, we felt the recruiting class coming into this past year that receiver was one of our strongest positions, and a lot of those guys played as freshmen and were on the field, and to see the jump they've made from freshman to sophomore year, including Scott Frazier, Nick Gustafson, Ryan Heckathorn, all of those guys will be starting receivers for us this fall. And then they did good in the spring as freshmen, but made some freshman mistakes. Well, each of them have really bought in to understand what our offense is built around and what we need out of our receiver position, and really excited about those three sophomores and the jump they made. And they all will be in the mix as far as starting this fall for us. And we have a number of other guys who are ready to contribute as well. When I look at our fullback position, which is our H-back, we lost in 2019 two guys who were multi-year starters. So this spring there were some question marks there, and really all three guys who played in the spring did a good job, and really have come in this fall understanding what we need that position to do. So Robert Tamburino, he's a sophomore, anchors that group, and Mason Muir and Kyle Heim will also be utilized in big ways in that fullback position. So we really look at it as having three returning starters at the fullback position. As far as our specialists, it starts with Nick Morrow, 4-year starting kicker, who's made so many big kicks for us over these last couple years, and a lot of big games and moments for us. So he'll be a kicker for us, along with Eddie Bianco, who does a lot of our kickoffs, and both of those guys came in together, and excited for both of them to be utilized. And long snapper wise, CJ Otwell returns, so have that position, and then our holder and punter will be Jared Custer. And I felt we've had a number of great punters here, and his freshman and sophomore year, I would joke and say I think we have the best backup punter in the country, and just because we had an all-conference guy who was starting ahead of him, well, now it's his turn to be the guy, and he's ready to do so. So a lot of talent and experience in our specialist position. As far as the keys for us, I'll go each side of the ball. Offensively, one of the top offenses the last couple years, and we really have done it by running the football, and then being able to make some big plays out on the perimeter. And I think we have the guys to continue that, and really play at our tempo, establish that run, and be able to make some plays in the pass when the opportunity presents itself. I think getting back to that is key for us offensively. And defensively, like every team, I mean, pursuing the football, and we try to get as much speed on the field as possible by way of the design of our scheme. And I think our ability to limit offensive production by getting multiple hands to the ball has really been key for us, and just excited for that group to continue that. And then special teams wise, make impact plays, whether it's through that extra point field goal, a big punt to change field position. That's really what our special teams is built around. So, I think if we're able to sustain drives and do what we do offensively while pursuing the ball and limiting offensive production, and then special teams wise establishing field position, we're going to put ourselves in position to continue to win football games. Yeah, it's a really exciting time, I think, for the President's Athletic Conference in football. I mean, you look at it, we have multiple teams that have been ranked top 25. There's various publications, but in a lot of them, the PAC is getting multiple teams in that. And a lot of times that's not including the PAC champion from 2019 who didn't play in the spring. So, a lot of teams getting that attention, and we've been right in the mix as well. I mean, going 8-3 in 2018 and 9-2. I mean, we've been a part of those battles. A lot of these games have come down to that final drive, and we're just excited and expect that again week in and week out. And it's really, I mean, I think there's been teams who've consistently been towards that top end of the conference, and a lot of teams that have been pushing to get into that and winning games to show that, hey, that they're getting close as well. So, yeah, as expected in the PAC, it's going to be a battle each and every week, and that's why we just need to know what our identity is and live in that. And if we do, I think we have a chance to compete at a high level in a very great conference.